Hello, my name is Jeremy Williams with JPW Business Consulting, and I'm here today sitting down with one of my coaching clients, Kristi Hernandez of Amcap Mortgage, located here in Kingwood. And I just want to sit down and talk with her and be able to learn a little bit more, and for you to learn a little bit more about her business and her journey to where she has come. So, Kristi, good morning.
Good morning.
So, Kristi, tell me about how long have you been in the industry?
Wow. I have been in the mortgage industry since 2002, so I am on my 16th year of being a mortgage lender.
Wow, 16 years. That's a while.
It's
And
a long
how
time.
long, and currently with Amcap, how long have you been with Amcap?
I've been with the branch I'm with now currently 6 years. We actually changed branches a couple of years ago, but the actual branch that I'm with, we've been with 6 years.
Okay, just out of curiosity, what did you do before?
I was a banker.
Okay.
I was a banker for 13 years. I love banking. I love serving people and being in that industry, being able to help people.
All right. So you've been in the financial industry for a long time now.
Long
You've got a lot
time,
of experience.
almost
in that.
30 years.
Good. So tell me about family life.
Wow. Well, I'm married to the love of my life. His name is Hernan, and we have a total of 5 children together. We're a blended family, and we've been married this year 20 years. So we have 5 children. We have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I bet
Thank
they
you.
get spoiled.
Oh, the grandbabies, yes.
Absolutely. So you talked about serving people and how important that is to you. Tell me, tell me how that applies in your business today.
Wow. So serving people is basically, that's part of my DNA. That's what I meant to do. And with the industry of being a lender, you get to serve people by educating them. You get to serve them by teaching them to, have a home loan and have the balance of life and honestly not to pay someone else's mortgage. So in the way I get to serve is knowledge and education and showing people the benefits of being a homeowner.
And that's really important. I think sometimes we don't realize the importance in those conversations that do actually happen between the customer and the loan officer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of misunderstood information there. And to be able to come in and serve them in that way, to help them figure out what's the best thing for them and their family. What's the best thing in terms of an investment. We don't often think of a home as an investment. It is.
It is.
And be able to guide through it. It is definitely a business of service.
When my husband and I were selling our first house, we met a young lady. We'd actually known her, and she wanted to rent our house. And I really didn't want to be in the landlord business, but the thing that taught me a lesson when I was chatting with her was she thought you had to be a veteran to be able to buy a home. And I'm like, wow, that knowledge, that wasn't correct knowledge, but that was the knowledge she was given. And so for me as a lender, it's about giving knowledge. I don't make decisions for people, but if I can educate them to make the right decision for their family's needs, then I think I've done a good job.
Good. So what do you think is the biggest challenge in your industry today?
One of the biggest challenges is knowledge with people, for people to understand that being a homeowner is like you said, it's one of the most major purchases a person is going to do is purchasing a home, and understanding the benefits of being a homeowner. Understanding all the things that they get with it, with of course owning the home and the taxes and so forth. But it's just changing the mindset for some people.
Yeah, mindset's everything, right?
Yes, it is.
Especially in our business in the real estate industry, it's 90% mindset and 10% skill.
Yes,
So
it is.
a lot of it is what we have in our head, and
That's
sometimes
correct.
we just don't know what we don't know.
That's true.
And it's an opportunity again for you to come in and serve and provide that education and,
Yeah.
and understanding. So I know a lot of your customers, probably majority of them, come through the relationships you have with realtors. So tell me about what you do to build those relationships with agents.
Well, I like to partner with agents. I'm not into a hunt. A lot of industries are about, take my card here. I'm about cultivating. I want to cultivate the relationship with the realtor because in the end, I want them to grow. I want them to grow and be the best agent, best team that they can be. And if I get to partner along with them and I'm one of the people that they choose to look for, then that grows my business along with theirs.
That's great. Yeah, having that partnership in the industry is very important. And when you say partnership, I know you offer some different things to help realtors with, as far as open houses, like the open house flyers. Can you tell me about some of those things that you offer?
So we offer the open house flyers. I also offer education. I love teaching realtors the importance of basically getting their buyers pre-qualified. Understanding their why. Why are you giving up time away from your family to go and show people houses and so forth? Like you said, we do the flyers. I do open houses. I like to meet with people and figure out ways, like we're going to do a vision board party.
Right.
So I think that's another way for the realtors to actually see, their vision of what they want to come to pass.
Yeah, I think that's important. Sometimes we think about just the business of today,
Mm-hmm.
and we're always working in our business and not on the business. And,
Right.
and building that vision wall will
Right.
be an awesome experience. And I think that'd be a great class for you at Amcap. So when somebody wants to bring somebody to you, what does that process look like? How do they connect with you?
Well, I connect with people 4 different ways. So once a realtor has shared with me that they have a buyer they'd like to get pre-qualified, I try to make it as easy as I can for the buyer. I love meeting people in person. I will do applications over the phone as long as we set an appointment. And 3 and 4 is I will send out my information by email, my online application, and I also have a paper application. Some people still like paper. And then I also send out my needs list. I send out a process flow to tell how the flow of the loan goes. And then I really send out the do's and don'ts, what not to do while you're doing this process. So we try to educate people, but I want to make myself available to the buyers as much as I possibly can.
Okay, as far as communication, how do you communicate with the customer and also with the agent throughout the process?
So basically, I have a Tuesday phone call. So every Tuesday, the agents are going to hear from me through phone and by email for me giving them a status of their loan. And then with the buyers, we touch base like every 2 or 3 days, even if the file's done or about to be finished. So we still touch base to say, thank you for your loan. Thank you for allowing me to use you. Here's some things to, be ready for as you're getting your CD, and just walking them through the steps of it. But I try to touch buyers at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay, that's great. I think communication is probably one of the biggest thing and challenges sometimes in our industry, and it's really important because I know especially on y'all's side, there's a lot of steps.
There is many steps to get pre-qualified. People from people who got pre-qualified in 2005 to someone getting pre-qualified today, it's a whole different process. Back then, they could just tell their numbers and pull credit and they were good. Well, we do everything full doc again. We gather pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, W-2s, anything that will apply to them. If they've been through a divorce, we gather divorce decrees. If they receive child support, we gather that information. So we gather a great deal of information, and sometimes people can think it's a little invasive, but I try to remind people that this investor doesn't know you, and this investor is giving you a great sum of money, and so we want to meet everything up front so that it's smooth sailing through the rest of the loan.
Great. Over the years, what's the biggest challenge you've seen with the consumer that's coming in and purchasing a loan? What have you seen as far as it comes up? I've oftentimes heard they go and make a big purchase prior to closing.
That actually happened this last week. That actually did happen this last week. I've had buyers, I always tell buyers, you don't own this home until we fund, until you get your keys in your hand, and I try to attend my closings. Until we give your keys in your hand, you don't actually own this home, so please don't make a purchase for this home. I actually had a really sweet little girl clear to close. She just could not get off of the day of closing. She couldn't get off the day before, so we needed to ask to move the closing. Come to find out, the seller had not got pre-qualified. So it's real important for realtors, if they're selling a home, if they're the seller's agent, if they're going to another home, to get them pre-qualified. Well, my sweet little girl, luckily she didn't buy anything, but we didn't get to close because the sellers weren't able to move on. And so I always try to emphasize to buyers, don't make a purchase when it comes to this home. It's not yours yet until you get your keys. And also, I always joke and say, like, I'm the bartender, the hairdresser, I can fix what I know.
Right.
And so we do refresh credit 5 days before closing, and we're there looking for inquiries, collections, or new debts. And the one I had happen Friday, he went and used his credit card from other things. And so luckily we were able to have him stop and pay down the credit card and still make our closing. But those are things we don't want to do. So we send out the do's and don'ts 5 different times throughout the process.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. If you're watching this just to learn more about the mortgage business, I think that's one that I see come up often, and it's really important to understand those do's
Right.
and don'ts. All right, Kristi. So there's a ton of mortgage people out there in the industry. Why you? I'm going to put you on the spot. Why choose Kristi Hernandez?
You're right. There are a lot of great lenders out there, and I'm privileged to be in the industry that I am. Why choose me? I'm really good at what I do. I take it personal. I think I take every loan to the fact that it's not just the realtors. It's a buyer. It's a seller. It's a family. And I live by a motto: to whom much is given, much is expected. And throughout my process, a lot is expected of me to walk this buyer through. I believe that I try to treat every person as a special individual. You're not a number to me. You're not just a loan number. We become friends. We create relationships. And as time goes by, I do hope that they remember me when somebody mentions a home. But if nothing else, I've made an impact on them and helped them to make their dream come true.
Great. And being in my coaching program, we talk a lot about goals and the activities to get there. How many families do you want to help this year? What is your goal?
You know, my goal was 65. It really was. And so I'm going to stretch myself and say I really want my goal to be 70. And I've got a lot to continue going, but I think 70 families would be amazing to get to help.
I know you can do it, and you can help too.
Yes.
So how do they get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you? Phone number or email or?
Yes, you can reach me on my cell phone. It's 832-331-1685. You can also email me at khernandez, KHERNANDEZ @myamcap.com. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a business page on Facebook, so look on there and just reach out and touch me.
Wonderful. So I want to thank Kristi Hernandez for the time this morning to be able to share and give us some insight into the mortgage industry. And it's been amazing watching her growth, even in the few short weeks that we've met. And I'm expecting great things of you to come. So,
Me too.
and again, this is Jeremy Williams with JPW Business Consulting, and I hope you have a great day and have found this to be helpful information. Take care. That's it.